Welcome back. All right, news of the day video for all you fine people on the internet for your Tuesday, January the 7th. A week into 2025 so far. All right, so Seattle, some moves today. Decord's been activated off of IR. He didn't spend very much time there. Stevens has been recalled from Coachella Valley, whereas Fleury, Myers, and Steska were all sent down to the AHL by the Kraken. Dylan Ferguson, goaltender who has bounced around a bit. He has signed a 1-year, 2-way deal with the Minnesota Wild. It pays $775,000 at the NHL level, $130,000 at the AHL level. He has already been placed on waivers, so they can send him down to the AHL. Grosnick's been out, so this is depth in their organization to try to beef up their goaltending a little bit. He'll be the backup for Wallstedt, I would think, for most of the time here on out till the season is done. So all the best to Ferguson. The NHLPA, and I think this is a good story. So mental health issues that NHL players go through, we've talked about this, and it's much better now that while there's still some stigma attached to a player going through mental health issues, it is not the same kind of thing that it was, say, 20, 30 years ago. Now the NHL is looking to expand that towards AHL players and ECHL players as well, which is good because, mental health isn't just reserved for the millionaire hockey players, I would think. Players at the lower leagues, I could see absolutely needing this kind of service. So the NHLPA expanding this to cover the minor leagues, I think is great. So good move on their part, and we'll see if AHL and ECHL players take them up on this offer, because from what we've seen of hockey players that have gone through this program, very often they come out and seem to be better, and it really seems to help. So expanding that program so that other players have access, I think, is the right move. So an expected move by the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight was that Ryan Reeves would end up in the lineup. With McCabe being on IR after being injured in the last game, odds are Reeves drops the gloves with Hathaway early in this one, I would think, tonight. Whereas, because Berube's saying that he wants more physicality from the team, so we'll very likely see Reeves in a fight. The Toronto Maple Leafs have to make sure, though, that they don't get into the muck, and that they don't make it just like a physical grinding game without the high-end skill part of it, because Philadelphia can absolutely get down in the muck, and they can get into that physical grinding game. So you want to make sure you're not going too far into a domain where Philadelphia is perfectly happy and comfortable to play. So we'll see how things go tonight between Toronto and Philadelphia. Colin Miller dealing with a fractured larynx, and that sounds very painful. I wouldn't want my larynx to get hurt. He's out at least 2 weeks. So yeah, that sounds about right. So Miller's going to be out for a while. It will test their depth on the blue line. The good news being that Winnipeg, no strangers to this, and Sandberg's trending towards a return. So Sandberg will likely be back in the lineup prior to Miller returning to the lineup. At least that seems to be the way things are trending. Good news for Habs fans. This is the first time this team has been above the playoff line since 2021, when they went all the way to the Stanley Cup final. That unexpected run and everything. So it has been a long time. They are above the playoff line currently. I don't know if they stay there or they don't, but that's not really the point. This is a team now that is building itself up. And now we've got a real race for the Calder, it would seem, between Hudson and Celebrini. At certain points this year, it looked like Michkov was going to be the odds-on favorite. Dustin Wolf was generating a ton of conversation through the first month of the season. But Hudson and Celebrini, I think, are the 1-2. And it will be interesting to see at the end of the season who comes out on top in that Calder race. Keeping in mind, as I always say, that winning the Calder does not necessarily mean you're the best of your rookie class. Just you had the best season of everybody in that rookie class. When we look back years later, sometimes the Calder winner may not be the best player in the class, but it's still fun to watch, still fun to talk about. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think Hudson, Celebrini, who would you vote for right now? And if you're a Habs fan, you're saying, I'd vote for Hudson. I'm not surprised. If you're a Sharks fan saying, I'd vote for Celebrini. Still not surprised. Rantanen has tied a career high with a 14-game point streak. So Rantanen's going very well. There also was a post on their social media today about how McKinnon is on pace for over 100 assists this year. So we could see McKinnon join McDavid and Kucherov as players who've recently hit that 100 assist mark in a season. Maybe that's one of those marks that's going to end up not looking quite as special as it had prior. But either way, you have to be a very good player to reach 100 assists. I think it's more reflective of the fact that, yeah, we're seeing some scoring in the game now at a level higher than we did 20, 25 years ago. So 100 assist seasons are going to happen. But Ranton has been playing really well. The Abs overall have been playing really well. Right now, they're in the top row on the power rankings, so we'll see if they're in the top row on Saturday, but I don't see any reason why they won't be. Tage Thompson. This one threw people off, and I think the first thing that got me was they said it was the hardest NHL goal, and I thought, okay, hardest NHL goal to me is a guy being able to deflect it in off of two players and off the goalie and into the net, like the hardest to replicate. But what they mean is Tage Thompson, with a goal last night in that game against Washington that came in at 103.7 miles per hour, is the fastest shot that's hit the net. I've seen people trying to correct them on this of actually these are the hardest shots this year, but they're not goals. This is the fastest shot that's been a goal. And I think it's just the way they worded it that makes it a little more confusing. Because again, hardest NHL goal, well, that should be the most difficult to replicate, not necessarily the fastest. To me, 103.7 miles per hour, that's the fastest NHL goal. For instance, when you get pulled over by an officer, they never say, do you know how hard you were going? You know, I mean, you can say, yeah, right on, dude, but you're going to get a ticket. So, yeah, it's fastest NHL goal. And then, of course, people would counter that with actually fastest NHL goal would be like 5 seconds into the period. That's the fastest. Whatever. 103.7 mile per hour goal. Good for Tage Thompson. Guy's a beast, so I'm wearing Buffalo for this video. Jake Wallman is hoping to return to the lineup for San Jose on Friday against Utah. He will not play tonight against Vegas. Sturm dealing with a lower body injury. He won't play against Vegas. Oh, shucks. Now San Jose won't beat the Vegas Golden Knights. If you followed their history over the last, we're into season 8 now for the Vegas Golden Knights, it has been a relatively ugly experience for the San Jose Sharks, for their fans in general, and I honestly, I don't know if I was a San Jose Sharks player, if I'd be all that anxious to return to the lineup tonight against a Vegas team that is just humming right now. Vegas is doing quite well. The New Jersey Devils are going to be without Haula for some time as we continue to get not really distinct descriptions of how long players are going to be out. He's dealing with a sprained ankle. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say week to week. I'll tag it as week to week sprained ankle. I would think probably at least a week or two for a sprained ankle, right? Because you got to skate, and if your ankle's hurt, it's one thing that you feel if you haven't been on skates in a while and you go out ice skating. Your ankles they murder you right away. They're like, you know what? No. I have not had to use these muscles in a long time. This doesn't feel natural. We're going to make you hurt. So I cannot imagine hockey players with sprained ankles trying to get out there and get skating again. It has to be a very painful experience. So all the best to Haula and his recovery, and to any other hockey players dealing with sprained ankles too, I guess. But anyways, there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. I also posted last night a video on the Entertainment Guy channel where I reviewed last night's Raw because it was the first Raw on Netflix. So I had the hockey games on TV, had to have the tablet going because a game on Prime, and I had the Raw show on Netflix, and then was also dealing with some personal stuff at the same time. So juggling quite a bit last night at the same point, but got the review done. And so, yeah, I just figured I might as well go ahead and plug the second channel here, Entertainment Guy. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon. And if you haven't already hit like and subscribe, do so, because the channel's getting very close to 336,000 subscribers. I never thought I'd see that day. I never thought I'd see the day that happened. But hey, weird, strange times indeed. I'll talk to you again soon.